working now?
Am I working?
Yep.
Okay. I was just gonna say I agreed with Crack Baby out there. French, the term friend does seem to get extended to people that you barely know,
Mm-hmm.
especially nowadays with all like the so-called parasocial relationships.
Mhm.
Where would you draw the line?
How
Like
much
what?
do I trust the person?
Okay.
Because that's really what the foundation of friendship is trust.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Spicoli. Bricky, I wanted to give it to you next.
And
Hey.
then me, right?
Yeah, then you, Spicoli, and then we can open her up.
Hey. Hope you're feeling better today than you were tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, so for me, I really enjoyed listening to the things you said. So I could go to the scriptures, right? And the scriptures say that a friend is someone sticking closer than a brother, right? So there's a lot to unpack in that verse. But essentially, in layman's terms, what that means is that someone who, when you're a brother that or a sister or a sibling, right? You'll stick up for your siblings. This is what you'll do, and you'll come out of the woodwork to defend them, even sometimes when they're wrong. But someone that's a friend will do even more than that, and they'll recognize certain moments when maybe it's not even a great idea to speak about something. See, a friend is someone who's going to know when not to say something, like or in an instance when someone's having a bad time, just saying, "Well, I'm sorry for that." That really sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to find a solution. Sometimes a solution is not the answer, right? Sometimes life is just shit, and so because of that, you need a friend to sit there and listen and work through it with you. And typically, problems are pretty easy to solve, typically, in life's problems. But you're not looking for a solution when you're having a bad day. You're looking for somebody to listen, to understand, and to be there for you, to have compassion, and just to believe that you are really having a bad day. So that for me is friendship. And it's very difficult to find friends. They say you can count maybe on one hand how many friends you get in a lifetime, real friends. Now we also have associates who we would probably call friends. They say less than 100 of those. And then anything past that is really downright absolutely associates. There's really not enough interaction to be a friend anyway, but we try, and you can really tell when someone's actually sticking up for you, when someone's really there for you. It's not so much loyalty as it is that willingness to, and that's what I see it as.
Okay. I mean, if you're a sibling of some sort, if you're a sibling, you're kind of obligated, right? Even whether you want to be there or not, whether you want to be supportive or whether you want to do this or do that, you kind of have a degree of obligation. I mean, with it does have caveats to it,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You don't
that's
want to
still a limit.
enable you don't want to enable drug abuse or a downward spiral of bad behaviors. I think there does come a point where you have to kind of smack it out of them. But a friend is not obligated to you. They weren't born under the same home as you. They choose you. They choose to be your friend. And I think that's kind of where you're getting to that, Bricky. And that's the beauty of friendship is I choose you. Even more so, I'll tap into a husband and wife. I choose to be with you for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
I make that choice. I selected you. All right, Spicoli, spit her out.
All right. Well, first of all, hopefully nobody will interrupt me while I go through my little spiel. First of all, what most people call friends. Well, he's already interrupting me.
I'm
What
kidding.
most people call
No
friends.
offense, Spicoli, but you were sitting there chiming in while he was talking with your little.
You're good,
Uh-huh.
buddy. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Spicoli.
what most people would label friends in reality in today's world, not quite 50 years ago, it's different, are really just acquaintances. Okay, they're acquaintances. People call them friends. I always say, if you want a friend, get a cat or a dog. Okay. Now, I want to focus real quickly on. I mean, we know that it's getting harder and harder for people to make friends for various reasons. Even though we have social media, you would think it'd be easier, but it's getting harder now. But what I really want to focus on real briefly is the what I call the pseudo friendships between male and females. We all know those are not real. We all know those are bullshit. We all know that, see, females look at their male friends. Females don't want to sleep with their male friends. Male friends want to sleep with their female friends. So all those relationships with women, unless a woman is fucking me, she's not my friend. She could be a coworker, she could be a cousin, she could be a sister, but unless I'm inserting my penis inside her vajayjay, she's not my friend. Now let me explain why real quickly, because
why is it always fucky fuck?
I'm going to explain why. Let me explain why now. I'm glad you asked me that question. I'll tell you why. Because when a woman tells you she wants to be your friend and she puts a guy in the friend zone, we know unless the guy's gay, 9 out of 10 times he wants to get in her pants, or he wouldn't waste his time being her friend. Here's my point. These women who claim to be your friend, guess what? As soon as they meet a guy who they're interested in as a boyfriend, the so-called friendship goes flying right out the window. Why? Because either her boyfriend doesn't want you hanging around her anymore because he knows you want to get in her panties because he's a guy, or she doesn't have time for you anymore because she's too busy with him. So all of a sudden, the so-called great platonic friendship, as soon as she gets married or has a boyfriend, she flies right out the goddamn window and it doesn't exist anymore. So it's all based on just a bunch of bullshit. These women are not your friends. And that's why I use the criteria that if a woman really wants to be my friend, she's got to get naked for me and sit on my big Jewish penis, or else she's not my friend. In other words, if she's hot and I like her and she doesn't want to sit on my penis, she's just frustrating me when I'm around her.
Let me ask you this then, Spicoli.
Hurt you.
What about a dude? Because obviously a dude is not gonna fucky fuck. So how do you determine?
Okay.
No. Wait.
I
would like to interject on that one.
Wait, hold on. She asked me a question.
On that one
How I develop friendships with men, obviously, are not based on whether a guy's going to get naked for me. It's the opposite. How I develop friendships with men, any type of friendship is determined by time.
No. Don't tell me that. You know that you only become friends with guys because you want them to do the nakey.
I think this problem is that you've been ducked one too many times.
Wait, dude. You must be homophobic. I'm not gay, but I have a lot of gay friends, and my younger brother's gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but there's everything wrong with denying you're gay when you're really gay like you are.
Are they really?
If you came around me, wait, when was the last time you touched a penis that wasn't yours? Yesterday or the day before? Dude, you cannot get the best of me. I can get you a rich clip.
Wait a minute.
Nicole, hold on a second. You know, I don't know if you watched.
Even if it was gay, so what? You have to be gay is an insult. It's not an insult, idiot.
Nicole, I don't know if you watched the show I just did over on.
I'm holding on.
But it was sentimental and it fucking meant something to me. And you come on and you're over here talking about fucky fuck, and you find a way to ruin every possible emotion I could possibly give outward to my people. And Why?
It's an open panel.
Why?
It's an open panel.
He didn't just rain on the
what you were
parade.
talking about.
He golden showered the son of a bitch, okay?
All right.
Listen, he R. Kelly'd our panel, and I demand penance.
All right. So this, so this panel just
No refunds. No refunds.
this
Totally,
panel
I would
just-
like to challenge.
I have a
Hold on.
legitimate
I know I'm
question.
getting your panties wet, dude.
All right, Spicoli.
Dude, I
let's
know
let
I'm
somebody
getting
else
your
go.
panties wet.
Okay, I got a legitimate
Sorry.
question for you though, Brody. Okay, so
Mhm.
you're talking about females not being friends with guys because of blah blah blah. What does it work vice versa?
It only works if nobody's attracted to one another and nobody wants to fuck one another. If one party wants to fuck the other, it doesn't work because it just plays into sexual frustration.
Okay, so I like that. I like
in other words,
I like
if
that.
I'm
No, I get
attracted-
that. I get
Yeah.
that point. That's exactly what I was asking
you
for.
get it.
So if the interest of
Yeah.
sex is not there, can people be friends?
Of course we can be friends. I'm friends with a lot of chicks that I don't want to fuck.
I'm
So
not talking about
I
chicks.
can have.
I'm
I
not
meant.
talking about
I
chicks.
should have
I'm not
said
talking about
you
chicks.
can't. You
If you're
cannot be
already,
friends
look,
with
you're
the
already
woman you
going
want
down
to
the wrong
fuck.
road if you're calling them
Hold on,
chicks.
hold on, you're both talking at the same time, and
You're already
and
going down the
Spicoli,
road.
you know your mic clicks out, so let's be mindful, okay? Because then nobody can hear you.
Sorry,
If
sir.
you're already calling them chicks, then you're already going down the wrong road. That's not a friend. That's a chick.
Oh,
That's a chick that you have a sexual attraction
shit.
to. A girl that you have a sexual attraction to. That's why you're calling her a chick. So can you be friends?
Well, that's a matter of
You, not-
semantics. That's a
can
matter of
she- no,
semantics.
hold on. Not can she be
Okay.
friends with you? Can you be friends with her without sex?
Oh yeah, of course. As long as I don't want to fuck her, I could be her best friend. But if I want to fuck her, I can't be her best friend unless she wants to fuck me. So I have very close friends, women friends. I have women friends, but they don't want to fuck me and I don't want to fuck them. So it's perfect. It's only when sex is involved.
Why are you friends with them?
Well, for various reasons. Some of them I worked with them. I met them in work relationships. Some of them I met when I was married before I got divorced. A couple of them I did want to fuck at one time, but I had a girlfriend or whatever. And it's just I'm friends with them because I get along with them as people. And I tend to get along with women actually better than men overall. And my mom was my best friend anyway. And I never fucked my mom. So I don't have to fuck a chick.
Oh.
It is.
So
Oh,
you're
we
basically
just
saying
opened
that
again.
you took us down this fucking tangent for no damn reason.
Yeah, so I too consider my mom a friend.
Yeah.
I do. Right. So I get what you're saying
Yeah.
there. And I appreciate that. So you mentioned
Yeah.
that you met a lot of these friends that you have at work, right? So because you've met them at
Yeah.
work, like just having a coworker doesn't make them a friend, right? Just like because I met you at work
No,
and you're
of course not.
a person.
No,
But
but I
what-
see these people. But I see them out of work. I hang around them out of work. I talk to some of them every day, every other day. Some of them are married, so dudes. So yeah, I mean, as long as the boundaries are set, like if I meet a woman and she's at work with me and I'm not attracted to her, even if I am, but I know she's married and she's taken, then she's off limits. It's these single
So then you
women
can't
that I
make
want
her
to
your
fuck.
friend.
But so
I
so
can
that's
make
what
her my friend
that's
as
what I'm
long as I don't want to fuck her. As long as I don't want to fuck her, she can be my friend. If I want to fuck her, she can only be my friend if she fucks me. It's black
All
and
right,
white.
Spin City,
any-
Spin City was holding his hand. Let's see what he has to add in.
Sorry.
So, Sarah, do you want to fuck me and be my friend?
No.
All right. Then we can't be friends.
Okay.
No, I don't
okay.
want to fuck
There-
you.
there
Yeah, wait. Yeah, no, before you go, Spin City, says
We can be friends. I
says
don't want to fuck you.
Spicoli, says
Sorry.
Spicoli, who every time he comes on my show for some strange reason, except for tonight, says I've been with friends with Sarah for over 3 years now. I've known her a long time. I know her better than anyone, and yet
Because
he
I don't
sits
wanna
there and
fuck
says, "Well,
you.
fine, you can't be
Because
my
I don't
friend."
want to fuck you.
Then stop
I can be your friend
saying
because
that
I
you're
don't
my
want to fuck
friend.
you. I don't
Go
want to
ahead,
fuck
Spin
you.
City.
I can be your friend.
So this panel has like taken a serious fucking nosedive. I mean, listen, we were having like an intelligent conversation, and now we're talking about golden showers and fucking fuck and all this other shit. I mean, I'm gonna make a point of order. Okay,
you forgot to mention dirt shoot. You forgot to mention dirt shoots.
Hold on.
All right, I'm going to take off. I got to go get a burger. Thanks for having me on. Thank you, Sarah. We'll fuck next time. When I start hating you, when I hate you, when I stop liking you, Sarah, when I stop liking you, then we can fuck. When I stop liking Sarah, then we can fuck.
I mean, listen, there are two women up here on the panel. If you want to talk like that, come on. But fuck.
He has no couth, none.
Well, I mean, it's an open panel. I mean, I give zero fucks, but I do have respect for the women that are on the panel, and for somebody to come in and say, you can't be my friend unless you're fucking me. I mean, come on now. I have several friends and female friends, but I've been married over 30 years. Just saying. But we're friends. My wife has plenty of male friends. It's not that they want to just immediately get naked and fuck and have a big old orgy, because now the panel has gone way down fucking hill. But the point at the end of the day is, you do not, in my personal opinion, you can have a female friend without wanting to jump right in bed with them. I mean, common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to Spicoli, he has to fuck them so they can be a friend. That's all I'm saying.
Or maybe that's all he can offer. Maybe that's all he can offer is friendship.
Yeah, it sounds like he's been
his big juicy cock. So I mean, we all know it doesn't measure up to be that at the end of the day, because anybody that says his big juicy cock, I mean, we all know he's lacking maybe.
I am so glad Coley went last on this. And I was able to get mine out, because I don't even think I would remember it at this point. But now that I've said it, I can maybe rewind it back and
Sarah knew that she was doing what put him last.
Go back to about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and he's sitting there talking about his big juicy whatever. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
First time.
Pretty standard for Spicoli.
Right out the gate.
I've been having him. I mean, again, I've been paneling with him since I first started YouTube, and it's never been anything different. That's why he has about a 2-minute time limit, where I know he's going to talk, and I know whatever he's going to say is going to be so ridiculous. Either somebody's going to pay to boot him, or he's going to do what he did and leave, or the panel's going to downright just be like, no. So he's got about a 2-minute shelf life per panel, and it usually happens every time.
Somebody pays to boot his ass out.
Yeah. It gets pretty. Almost you expect it by this point. So
okay, Sarah, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that just scared the shit out of me.
We all turn and look. Like, what
the hell was that? Anyway, so on the friend zone, if we can stay on that topic without the big juicy penis and whatever else.
Yeah.
On the friend zone thing, you meeting me or your best friend in the world, or like friend, like you tell them everything, right? Mm-hmm. How did they earn that friendship other than through the most conventional way, other than respect and whatever else you would consider normal?
I mean, for me, I'd say everyone starts with me with a clean slate as far as, like it's not poor Al Wine's having issues with his phone, so he might be in and out until he gets situated. Everybody starts with we're at balance 0, right? You're not in the negative. It's not like you have to earn per se. Like everybody starts with, we're cool, right? And to me, it's more like you grow on me versus you have to earn per se. I think earning is a different type of word that I don't know if I like using it, because like that means you have to do work towards something and you have to put in all of this. Like I understand the effort, right? But I work on my house. I work on studying for a test. I work on making money, right? I'm working towards something. And for a friendship, I wouldn't consider it work. If it was work, like, would you really enjoy it? So I would think of it more as you're growing on me, and along the way, I'm learning more about you. And, what I think my first initial first impression of you versus, 3 years later, and what it might. Now, Spicoli, obviously, my first impression has never been changed. He is always Spicoli and never will be anything different. He's had his moments, his heartfelt moments before, but I will still always view him as that Spicoli, that guy that always comes on and ruins every panel with some fuck shit. Like he didn't even miss his opportunity when my dad hosted my show one night. He didn't even miss his opportunity to come on and start talking to my dad about fuck. And my dad was like, what the fuck? No. Right. Mm-hmm. And I knew that was going to happen as soon as I saw him pop up backstage, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But I think it's a matter of growing versus earning per se. Does that make sense?
So using the word earning would not be appropriate in your language, if you will.
In my world, I think earning is like you're working on something, and work we typically consider not always a good thing, right? You're obviously working towards a goal or towards something, but I wouldn't want somebody purposely working towards something with me, like a friendship, because that means it's still conditional on something. Right? Work means there's a reward, right? Well, I don't know if I would view that as the most positive way to look at it, but growing, like for instance, when you get married, the thing that we say often is, I want to grow old with you. I don't want to work with you. I want to grow old with you. And just the same with friendship. I think you grow towards each other, and you grow together, and you grow as things come about and things happen. It's a growing moment for the both of you. It can be a make or break in a lot of instances. We've seen that across the online space naturally, but it could also be a big making moment where you bond over these crazy things or scenarios. But I want to grow with you. I don't want you to work towards me. I want to grow with you.
So how about this? What about creating moments and memories? Because the thing is, for me, like, so everything that we do in life, right? So I've always said this, there's only what you can say and what you can do. Those are the two things that you actually have control over in reality, what you can say and what you can do. So with every passing moment in time, whether it's seconds, days, years, there's those moments and there's those memories that you create with someone or even something. This is why for guys, they have relationships with their cars, right? If you could go out into nature, consider all of the things that, in my opinion, have been provided for us here on the earth. One of the greatest joys for me is just watching the water, the ocean, the waves. I have basically developed that relationship with nature that I get to sit there and watch the waves and enjoy just watching the water. Now, other people probably feel that same way.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, other people feel the
same.
I
live in Florida. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you go to the beach. Yeah. You go to the beach and you just sit there, and it's just like a calm. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted to say I can relate to you in that aspect, because I have the I have the luxury of doing stuff like that, but nature is nature.
Yeah, I'm from Florida too. I don't live there now. I'm out west in the middle of the desert, so it sucks in that regard. But yeah, it was one
Water
of
is scarce.
every single morning before I went to work. I would literally go by and sit out there for about 10 minutes or so before I go to work to put my mind at the right place. So much like if you're talking to a friend and that person is listening to you, it's such a calming effect. It produces that what it was, I guess in the chemical world, it'd be serotonin, right? And you're having a better day because you know that there is something more there. This is why for me, when people ask me, do you believe in life after death? And I say yes. Because every time somebody dies, I see more people. There's still life. There is life after death. It's that simple for me. But if you really go out into nature and you see the things like Sarah was talking about, touching grass, you will see that there is so much out there that is beyond us, and that yes, we will come, we will go, and we won't be anymore. And even the memory of us may fade, but that's one of the reasons why I also wanted to use this avatar today, because especially with this conversation being had, there's a lot of brothers, sisters too, lost in arms defending this country, and I just want to put that reminder out there that they're not forgotten. They really aren't. Even though, yeah, sometimes we forget the person themselves or the name, what they did, like what they say and what they can do, what they have done for us in protecting this country. And sometimes it's for big oil, big money, whatever. I know, blah, 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 blah. But they're doing it because they care about us. They're listening to us. They see a desire to have that freedom, have that peace with us. And it's not easy to do, to raise your hand and just to say that it's appreciated. It is. It really is. But friendship is hard to find. And I know that there's no doubt in my mind that some of those guys who are missing and that sort of thing, they were friends, and they had friends. And some of those friends did make it back and consider their friends. And, it's like I said, there's only so many you get in real life, so, but yeah.
Fair. Camaraderie. That's another. Okay. So is there a difference in friendship and camaraderie?
Oh,
Because
yes.
the military
Absolutely.
has a lot of camaraderie, right? Like one goal, one line, we are doing this together. But that doesn't mean that they're all friends when they go home, but they do come together for one singular cause.
Yeah, like sometimes, like a lot of people come together, even when they hate or despise each other. I dealt with that in the Marine Corps enough to where there was people I hated, but
Right.
hey, we had something to get done, and so hey, you get over it. But then most time, the hate is something small that most people can really get over, and it's some petty stuff. And I think most stuff that people get agitated with or frustrated with is some petty stuff that they probably can actually sit down and talk over. And if they actually just listen to each other and stop ready to attack or be on the defense, then maybe they can get a little bit further. But teamwork is like everything. Like I'm fresh in a relationship 6 months, and I'm like, oh, I don't have kids, but she got kids. I'm like, oh, and so I'm like, I'm still learning everything right now, and I'm like, okay, she's giving me grace. I'm giving her grace on different things, and we're making it work as a team. Even though she thinks one way, I think a different way. So we're butting heads, but we're trying to make that puzzle fit together perfectly.
Right. So there is still an end goal that you're both trying to reach together, but but you obviously, if you're dating her, right, it's you're assumingly more than just friends. So then what makes the difference? Hi, Ruby. It's a open panel chill stream. If you want to join, friendship's the topic. You might have a lot to say about it. If it's friendship versus a spouse or a lover, romantic relationship, where does that difference change then? Like now what do we get to? Because I know spouses, you know, you have an expectation. It is till death do us part, but not everybody follows that. So when are these expectations real? When are they fake? When can you take it back? When can you break your contract in terms of spouse?
Well, I'm gonna.
Oh, sorry, you can go.
You sure? I mean, you can go. You can take it. It's fine.
Well, I'll just say this real quick. As far as my answer, I'm the opposite and the different. I'm very a loner, antisocial person, so I had to break out of my bubble in order to find what I truly wanted. I knew I wanted a wife and wanted a spouse. I had to break out of my social network to go meet her, which was online. And then we met, and even then, it took me a lot of work. But the one thing that, like, I have a lot going on, and I knew I want to marry her, which I hope she'll never hear this, but I know she will. Is because of the way she helps me at home. That's how it's like I see the motherly duties within her.
Right.
And I was like, now I see my future wife.
Dating a single mom does have its advantages. Number one, we come with snacks and lots of them, and there's always dinner made all the time.
The other night I went in there for some Cheetos. I was like, man, these are the kids. I was like, you know what? Forget these damn kids.
Oh hell, he just brought the Cheetos and everything. He ate that shit.
Oh, it was gone that night.
We'll send you home. We'll send you home with a go bag and everything.
Well, I have two comments.
The next day at work, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. Go ahead, Spin City.
I don't want to interrupt because, you know, I don't want to get yelled at, you know, 5 minutes in. But last panel I was on, she was tripping. Well, I want to go back. If we can digress for just a minute. You were talking about camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
So before I had my accident that put me into a chair, I was a firefighter paramedic for 26 and a half years. The camaraderie, whether it be male or female, there is a certain type of bond that you make with the people that you work with 24 to 48 hours at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that does not mean that a love can spiral or a love can be struck in a camaradetic, if that's even a word, situation. Mm-hmm. You see it all the time. You know, in even on TV, it is. I mean, yes, it's TV, right? But I have seen in person where two individuals, they clicked, as they say. Mm-hmm. And you know, but it's very dangerous in the workplace setting, if you will,
because you have a similar bond, right? And typically people go through the same type of scenario, with being work, military, got paramedics, I could imagine, cops especially. But even like every day, like everybody has their work partner, right? Somebody at work where they're like, if it weren't for you, I'd hate this place. And so you've developed like this work bond because you go through so much together, and you have a common enemy, which could be, you know, your boss or this certain event or people or whatever. I'm going to step away for just a moment. I hear something rattling around upstairs. I'll be right back, but you guys can continue on. I'll be right back.
Sure. Well, the guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, with the POWMIA. He was talking about the military, and that kind of, you know, made my heart get bigger, because although I have never served in the United States military, I can relate to his comment in a comradic way. I mean, public servants are public servants. The military is a public servant at the end of the day.
Yeah.
In the United States. Yes, they are overseas and wherever else, and I am sure that bonds or
You took care of Americans on the home front. You are just as important as those who have to go overseas. Thank you for your service.
So yes, everybody is important. And you know, my father said to me one time, everybody needs to have a friend, someone that is impartial, or that may or may not be able to give you advice, whether it be right or wrong, because at the end of the day, it's your decision. Now, being married 30 years and Catholic, I don't want to say that too loud. I got in trouble last time for saying it. Anyway, didn't get in trouble. No.
Did you get married in the Catholic Church?
I did.
Okay, so you guys did when they teach you guys how to fuck only a few times a month.
Nice, holy times 2.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that is not entirely true, but you know, at the end of the day, well, let's take it one step further. You go to church and you sit in the same place every Sunday or Saturday or at Mass. You become an acquaintance to the person that's sitting next to you, because that person is always sitting next to you. It's like the herd mentality, right? But what I was getting at is to have in my mind, to have somebody that I consider a friend. I'm not saying they have to earn anything, but you have to, in my mind, you have to have the same interests or have like-minded interests to be able to build a friendship. And I'm not saying work, because that's a very wrong word.
But can I change your mind on that? If I could change your mind, I would say that, look, there's a lot of people that value veterans just because they're people, right? And it's like, okay, this is a person, they're doing a dangerous job. I understand they're doing the job politicians tell them to go do. But like, I don't think you need to be, what I would say, locked in a pew for an hour each week. Or you don't have to be depending on Father McGee, you know, to just appreciate people.
I do not agree with that I do not disagree with that statement at all. I just want to say that I don't disagree with that, but there is still some, in my mind, still some sort of camaraderie or like-mindedness for them to even be in the same place, if that makes any sense.
What's up, Resla?
What's good, Brick? So yeah, hey guys, how's everybody doing? I'm just getting in. I'm just gonna kind of touch base on what everybody was just kind of talking about real quick. And the question that come up is, and so the friends, is it something that you have to, for lack of a sense of the word, earn? And for me, the answer is yes. A lot of people are put in very, in the same situations, right? Not in the same situation, but they're put in the same place regardless of what their situations are. A good example is this. You may not have the same kind of family structure or the same, or your family has the same financial background or whatever. But one thing you can all say about kids is that they all go to that same school, right? Mm-hmm. Now, who you pick up is a matter of a couple of factors. Number one, it's proximity. You don't get to choose who gets to be in your class. You don't get to choose any of that stuff. Same way how we can't choose our family. Now, when it comes to this idea of friendship, that's something you're going to have to work at. You might find people who have the same interests as you. That doesn't mean that you're going to naturally become friends. In fact, some of the people that I can see that I've been close to are people who are not even doing the same things that I am. And they can still hold me accountable or still give me proper lessons or always teach me something I didn't even know about. I also say this about friends as well, because sometimes we say friends, and this is like, I always look at the social media aspect of things. We say friends when really a lot of people that we run across are just casual acquaintances. They're not friends. And friends, the idea of friendship is also on a different level. We don't all love everybody the same way. I might have love for Sarah, the same way I might even have love for, let's just say, even Spicoli if he was up here. That doesn't mean I'm going to love them both the same way. But there is an aspect of care that's there. I say friendships are something that have to be earned, because while you can naturally gravitate and get to know each other, you actually have to work on that friendship in order to keep it going. It's not something that's just going to last just because they exist. You got to make the time. And that's something we should all consider. If you're really thinking about it, they didn't just stay your friends and you didn't see them for God knows how long. You never spoke to them. And then all of a sudden you met up again, like, yay. No, you had to keep in contact. You had to keep that fire warm. You had to make sure the log was up there, because if it goes cold, they're no longer your friend anymore.
I do agree.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I have my BFF. Through God, I've known her since I was 19 years old. All right, I'm now 38. Okay, what's that? Almost, is that 20 years? Almost, yeah. And you know, I lived a lot closer when I met her.
Out.
Is that 20? Almost 20, right? I gotta like my
19
mentally.
38 is 19.
38 minus, yeah, it's almost 20. Minus 19. Yeah, 19. So it's almost 20.
I was being facetious.
I was like, my brain hurts thinking about that one. But I've known her for almost 20 years, right? And obviously I lived closer to her when we first met. And throughout the years, I've kind of revolved around that same stomping ground. So I've always been maybe an hour away or so on and so forth. Now I'm like 2.5, 3 hours away, which is obviously a long distance to be able to see them. But I still call her maybe like once a month. We have a good hour-long chat, catch up on everything, and it's like we just pick up where we left off. I don't feel like I missed anything. I don't feel like she missed anything. You know, and I would still sit here and say she's still my best friend. I don't feel like I have to go see her every day to have that standing ground with her. But I mean, you do have to work towards something. I don't know. I think the bond is already signed, sealed, delivered, and it's just a matter of we're just working with the time and space that we have. You know, I'm a working mom. She's not. Like, she has more time than me, but she has other things that she does with her time. And she's been through a lot of stuff, especially lately, to where her time is constrained. So, like, we've just worked with what we've got and make the best of it. And I don't feel like I need to call her every day to check in, if that makes sense, or to continue that relationship. It doesn't need that. We already had that in the beginning, and we bonded it and signed and sealed and covered it all. And it's like, all right, going forward, like, we're good, right? We're good. You know, she was my maid of honor, you know, like all of these things. We didn't have to ask for any more, and neither of us hold that expectation. It's just there.
Sarah, but that's what I was trying to say earlier. I was trying to say that earlier, that like, yeah, I mean, there is still in that, to me, and this is maybe me putting my own emotions and stuff on you, but that aspect that people just value each other, right? People just value another person, and it's like, okay, cool. I personally, I don't care if someone is like, you know, kind of a douchebag or bitch McGee sometimes, but like the main thing is, yeah, it's like, you know, for my friends, it's like, you're a beautiful person, and I'd say that even if we weren't friends. But now we have all these emotional bonding experiences that we have gone through.
And speaking of value, if you find value in this stream, number one, hit the like button. Number two, you should already be subscribed. If not, why aren't you? Go ahead. Peer pressure is everything. And number three, the dono goal has now been hit off. So if you want to keep going, you have to keep contributing. You know the drill up in this house. Send in those donos to meet the dono goal so that this show can continue on. All right, back to you guys.
So I have a question. Do you pick your friends or do your friends pick you?
Well, one negates the other.
Well, see, the reason I ask is because, I understand actually what you're saying, Resla. However, the idea behind work is that it isn't fun.
No,
it's not. That's not it.
Here's the thing. Before you stop me, and I was actually just going to say that a lot of people disagree with me on this point. I've actually brought it up on panels before, and it gets heated, boy. It gets heated because people do disagree, and they say that work can be fun. I disagree. I believe that work is those things that you don't want to do. That's why we call it work. Otherwise, it would just be play. There's work and there's play. So when you're having fun with your friend, building a relationship, I call that play. And you're building these moments and memories where it's not work. So even if we're building a house together and it's all on our own, there's moments that we could call work, but it's because we didn't want to do those things. But we want to be there with our friend building the house, and those moments and memories we call play.
I mean, I think that goes back to what I was saying with how we grow together. Because there's growing pangs, right? Not every growing moment is happy. Not every growing moment is a positive moment in the moment, right? You find your silver lining later, and if you can't find silver linings, then why are you even having moments? But I think the piece you should be pulling from it is the growth of the relationship, and being able to look back at your dumbass moments and stupid shit you did. And thank God I have a good friend that forgives me and doesn't judge me for my stupidity, right? I think we've all been there. And growing forward together. And how can I not put my friend in that bad situation again? Or how can I not let my friend down? Or how can I, do better? And shout out to Nuke for sending in the big 10 on the PayPal. Says, lucky you. I love it. Thank you so kindly to you, Nuke. You are the bomb diggity. But yes, I don't think it's always happy times. If friendships were always happy times, then you could do that with anybody and it wouldn't be so special. I think being able to look back and say, we got through this, we got through that, and having those moments where you check each other out. I mean, I've had that even recently where I had to kind of check somebody and say, hey, you're doing this and I don't like it. And they acknowledged, and what they do with it is up to them, but they just acknowledged and I left it there. So
people I've been close to, the people I've been the most closest to are people that I've had like some of the biggest disagreements with, biggest fights with. And those have been the people that have stayed with me the longest. I think also we have to really, because a lot of people say when we have friends, even like when we say like best friends, we think that they're all mutual. And it's funny, like I have these conversations with people. You ever notice that you can run across someone, they say, well, he or she is my best friend. But if you ask that person, it's not the same way. They have a best friend. So we all look at each other on different levels. I think you should just be very grateful that you have somebody like that you can actually trust.
Mm-hmm. And actually, if you don't mind, you mentioned a very specific thing I wanted to bring up, Resla, is our perspective of who our friends are. Especially in this space, I see a lot of people throw the friend word around very nonchalantly and very freely. But then if you ask the other person, they're like, oh yeah, I know them. I've been on panel with them before. Or yeah, we talk every once in a while, but you never hear them call that person their friend, even though that other person says that's my friend.
But they are the ones that are so quick to throw you under the bus. That's what I was going to say. And I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. Now, you mean the people who say that's my friend, or the people who don't acknowledge that they're their friend?
Both. I'm not gonna. I don't want to bring drama up, but I'm going through something like that right now in the online community, where somebody that will sit there and say that I'm your friend, I'm your brother, are the first ones and the quickest ones to throw you under the bus because you may have said something they don't like or they don't agree with.
Can we be honest about that though? Well, can we be honest? Can we be honest about that though? Because it should be acknowledged between both parties that they actually do view each other as friends. And unfortunately, especially when you deal with something online, let's be honest, there is that aspect of the parasocial relationships. But the word friend is also a disarming tactic. I mean, how long we see foreigners come in and they use the word friend because it's a good way for you to not to have a very conflictive conversation.
Holy Zeno, you are talking about friendship and you just dropped xenophobia. What the flying tomatoes does that have to do with anything, dude? Seriously, bro.
Duck, let me ask you something on that. Can you be friends with someone that you've never met that's across the world?
Probably, yeah.
It depends on
easy way to find things in common.
But it depends on your definition of friend.
Right.
That's the important part.
That's where
it would have to be platonic.
I'd call bullshit. I'd call
and in the context of the way how you're using the word friend.
Right. Because I'm talking about so there's, like I said, the 5 that you can count on your hand that are close friends, right? The probably 1 or 2 best friends, and then maybe 3 or 4 others. And then the 100 or so that you could have as acquaintances in life that you could call friends. You know that in your social circles, they say there's only about 300 or 400 or so that you actually even remember at times. And so the idea that you can just be friends with billions of people on the planet, it's just not in the cards. It's not possible. There are people out there that you've never met that you could not say, that is my friend. And nobody on this panel or anywhere since the 1940s would say the little mustache man was my friend. But he was a human being. So you can't say that you could be friends with anybody.
The reason I disagree is, we all speak the same basic language. And I think even humans being their absolute worst, it's still grounded in the same thing. So I don't mean to be adversarial, but once you get over that, to me, and my own sort of take is just well, okay, am I the asshole, right? Like that, my first, just honestly, my first thought, not trying to be performative or anything. It's well, what did I possibly do wrong that this person, this Duck guy, this Nate guy, Nathan doesn't like me? It's well, I don't know. What did I do wrong that I don't like you?
No, I don't think you're being an asshole unless you're being an asshole to yourself by being naive to believe that someone like a serial killer, let's take for instance, could be.
Yeah, that's a good one.
To you, you're
that's a good one.
Naive.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so
no, let's do it a little bit, right?
Like Ted Bundy, right? Would you consider Ted Bundy a friend?
I am sure. I'm as confident as I am that Ted Bundy murdered 13 women, or whatever it was, across Colorado and multiple states.
Right.
I'm also confident that he lived a life outside of that, and so. I'm sure if a great example, I think if he had, you guys might understand this, a spiritual guide, like a teacher, or someone who wanted to understand him, maybe they have that religious training or whatever it was, then yeah, I'm sure Ted Bundy had people that he was friends with in prison or something. I don't know what would justify you saying he didn't have friends.
Here's the thing. So, and I don't mean to be trying to toot my own horn, or I'm not trying to do that. I've been to some of these places, and some of those people in there, they're not fixable. They're monsters. I wouldn't call them bad because I don't believe people are good or bad. I believe that what they do is good and bad. But because of that, right, they will choose to do bad all the time. They are monsters. They will not change, and they need to stay in a cage. There's no change.
Yeah, but I would rather meet a semi truck head on than live in a world where there's literally no trust, where society, you're basically saying society's meaningless. That's your argument. That's the argument.
No.
I didn't get that.
There's no trust. There are people that I put some trust in. I can't put full trust in any single person. That is a fact, except for the one that I truly believe in, which is my God, right? But past that, we're all men out here. We're all human beings. I know that we're flawed. I know that we're imperfect. And I know that we're going to make bad decisions, mistakes, but some will make bad decisions less. And for those people, I could maybe develop some type of relationship but the ones who I am closest with are those who I have truly developed.
Clay, I can't take it. The reason I'm failing to see the point here because like I hear the same rhetoric anytime you have a cult leader. Anytime someone in power wants to sort of affirm that they're your friend, they're your guy, they can help you, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They always say, well, some people are better than others, right? And like for a guy like me, that lesson takes a long time to learn, that people are going out and just pursuing their own interest. I get that.
But I sort of get it. Some people are better than others. In fact, I said that you cannot be good, you cannot be bad. It is the things that you do that is good and bad. But I'll let somebody else take it.
Okay, so I have a question. You just related Ted Bundy, right? You dropped the name Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, if I heard it right, you could possibly be friends with anybody. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That would be to you, Duck. Can you be friends with anybody?
Ducky Duck.
Wait, that was to me? What was the question?
Yes, sir.
You whomever, and I apologize, you brought up Ted Bundy.
Well, I brought him up, but it was Duck that was saying that he could be friends with him.
Okay. I just want to get it straight. I'm addressing the right person. You claim that you could be friends with anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could be friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I could be friends with. Sure. Why couldn't someone be friends with Jeffrey Epstein? What is the reason?
Before or after the knowledge of who he is?
Just that was the thought that just came out of was just going to come out of my mouth.
So you guys have never held a friend accountable. You've never. That's like some sort of like Andrew Wilson would say. That's a logical impossibility. Like that's what I believe.
So you're telling me after he raped how many people, you could hold him accountable
and still be his friend?
I guess you could ask the question: is it a face only a mother could love?
Well,
and what does it?
Yeah, why are veterans? Why are veterans friends then? If you want the no. If you want the shock jockey points, no. Be quiet for a second.
Hold on, Duck's on a point here. Duck's on a point here.
Yeah,
I digress.
Sorry. Okay, so why in that sense, if you're an Iraqi or an Afghani, you should be like, well, why are any veterans friends? Literally after America showed up, you get a terrorist organization like ISIS pops up. They're bombing embassies. They're selling you your food for 3 times as much. It's all bad. It's all horrible. And this is all American veterans. So by your logic, you're doing the same thing. You're saying that, well, friendship, relationship, it's nothing. Society's nothing. None of these things count for anything. There's no nuance there.
No, that's not true. So behaviors can change, but past actions cannot. And you must pay for your actions. The things that you have done, whether it's good or bad, if it's bad, society holds you to a standard. And that is across the board. No matter where you go throughout the world, there will be a society. There are no anarchical states. It does not exist, because in the power vacuum of no power, power finds the vacuum. So when you find a society that does not hold you accountable, then you can show it to me. But I don't believe it exists.
It
when
doesn't.
You do bad
I mean,
things,
all you're gonna do, Clay, all you're gonna do is make people feel small. All you're doing is telling people they're powerless. All you're doing is blaming weak people. You're blaming smaller people. You're blaming people with less force to their voice than you, and you're telling them, you're gaslighting them. You're telling them you're fucked up. You're fucked up for trusting people.
Listen, Duck.
That's the most fucked up thing you can say.
Listen.
Hold on.
Shame is a powerful tool. It's a weapon in the arsenal of the free American and free speech. When I tell you something is bad, and I really mean it, especially if it's already been considered in law, you might want to consider it. Now, some people don't agree with that, especially the ones who don't agree with the law part. Those we call criminals. And we put them in cages because they need correction. We all actually call it the Department of Corrections. Now, we can't just let anybody do anything all the time. We can't let people steal. We can't let people unalive people. We can't let people do SA and all of that nonsense. Because if we do, that's called a lawless society.
But Clay, what you're saying right now is not more important than friendship. What you're saying right now is not more important than friendship in general, right? That's the part I don't get is that
develop without a rule of law.
No, because it's two people literally standing next to each other, right? Out of their mother's womb, the most important point was like, yeah, you're both occupying the same planet, the same Earth, all that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
So it does make sense, but
how about this one? How about this one? Do you believe that nature has laws?
Natural law.
The natural law, laws of nature. Yeah.
What goes up must come down. If you jump off, you're gonna fall.
Yeah, it's a little stretch.
There's natural law, then there's the laws of nature. They're kind of
maybe this could be put it a different way. You can say you're not friends with Ted Bundy, but to say that Ted Bundy didn't have friends is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I am not. I did not. How long?
But I didn't say that he didn't have friends.
For how long?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and a whole group of friends with this woman, they had a whole life together.
Yeah, I'm sure Little Mustache Man had friends too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
How most relationships go.
Everybody's had friends. Or I mean, think about this. If you even went to a decent sized high school, pretty sure you probably were with a serial killer, because the amount of the chances that you haven't met a serial killer in your life is probably pretty slim that you haven't. So my whole point of saying this is there's three groups of friends. You have the people that peak, that you surpass, the people that you meet, and the people you exceed, that you want to be. So you have three options. You can either bring someone up to your level, remove the person out of your life, or try to meet someone that you want to be and then emulate them and bring everybody up. Those are your three options in life. Okay. So like you're saying, if you met a Ted Bundy, you're going to leave him in the dust. You're going to have a moral stand, and that's it. You're going to have someone that inspires you. You're going to want to follow them, and you're hoping that they're going to bring you up. And hopefully you have friends that are below you that you're going to inspire them to be better. Those are your three options of life with friends. That's why your friends groups change, because your ideals and your morals and everything else changes, and you grow. Some people don't grow. Some people, that person in high school that peaks, and that's it. They're going to be 18, and they're going to be 18 for the rest of their life.
But I don't. You get the person I don't believe there's a moral concept or in being friends with Jeffrey Epstein or the guy that killed Lincoln Riley.
Yes, but that's your morals. There are people that don't have morals that would look up to him, just like everybody else. You have the people. Why do you think serial killers get so many letters in prison from women?
He's got a point.
Okay. All right. I digress. I give you that.
I understand you might not be friends, and that's perfectly fine. And
there is no way that I could sit down and have a cup of coffee or a meal with any of them.
But I'm saying
there is not moral turpitude.
That's your morals. There's people that don't have morals that would look up to that kind of thing.
Or just have a different set of morals.
Think about this.
It's your standards versus what everybody else has.
Look at all the
I might be looking at it one-sided.
Look at all the people that want to commit bad acts. They always quote different people that they looked up to in their life that were evil, and then they did an evil act because of them that inspired them.
That's an idol. That's not a friend.
Well, some people think that it is their friend. They're so deranged that they think this is my friend, and the only way I can get into them is to do these horrible acts.
But that's an idealistic. That's an idealistic. In my terms, that would be fake, because you're idolizing something that they did. So how could you morally look up to them?
See, the thing is, you're putting on the morals of your standard. I'm trying to be subjective here and saying that just because you're not going to be friends with them, someone else is going to be friends with that person. I'm not saying you in general. We all know that we're all not going to be friends with Ted Bundy.
Bubba in prison is going to be their friend.
Yeah, so saying that person's not going to have a friend is irrelevant. They're going to have a friend. It's just you're not going to be their friend.
Well, I actually understand what you're saying. I kind of brought this point up earlier about the cars, guys with their cars, me going to the beach and watching the water. I've developed a quote-unquote relationship with something outside of the norm of what somebody would consider a friendship, but I still don't. I actually know that the car is not my friend. I know that the beach and the water is not my friend. I'm not a friend to them.
That's my point.
Friend is the one that is an actual person. This is why actually I like the point about if you want a friend, get a dog or a cat. Spicoli made that point, I believe.
But that's my point.
Yeah, because they look at you, they listen, they consider your feelings, and then you, as a also friend, consider their feelings. Listen.
You, I can smell it.
I can't hear anything over that. I'm sorry, guys.
Mute.
Yeah.
Put him backstage for a second until he.
What the heck was
that?
I'm sorry, Sarah. I missed what he said. Could you repeat that?
Sure, I got you.
Go ahead.
So like the friendships that I have are between myself and another person. Spicoli, I believe, brought up the point about the cat and the dog. If you want a friend, get a cat and a dog. I actually like that point because the cat or the dog, well, not really the cat. The cat just does whatever the fuck it wants. But the dog will sit there and listen.
I was going to say a cat just does what the hell they want.
But animals don't beg people for shit either, though. Like that would be, and I know it sounds weird to say, but like that's why I love Puppy Doggy.
Dogs do.
Cats and dogs
do too.
My dog absolutely thanks me.
But no, they listen, right? So a dog will actually feel the room and understand that there's someone in here that's not feeling so good, and he'll come up and he'll nudge you and all of that. Well, a human friend is even more capable.
Oh
no.
Bandit, I don't know what's going on, but your mic is coming in hot and crazy.
Is he okay?
I think it's
is he okay right now?
Accident.
But he's probably all right.
Okay, hope so.
Yeah.
Conscientiousness.
Buzz on him.
Right? So because of our conscientiousness, we're supposed to be this higher being here on the planet than animals, and obviously with trees, some people believe they got minds. I don't, but they are life. They're not going to react to things the same way we are. But human beings, being that highest life form on this planet, if we have such a high form of life, our conscientiousness to become friends serves such a powerful meaning that someone that is just idolizing a serial killer, I don't see how that could really be considered a friendship when that person can't actually develop a relationship with the other person to where, like, is the other person considering the outlook of what you're considering doing? Like, are you even listening to me, kind of thing?
But most people are all people, I think. See, this is some of the BS is people say they appreciate being listened to, But when you get down to it, they usually want something out of it too, right? Like there's not like, eternal ambiguity around that sort of stuff. And so it's just something to sort of ponder on, I think, for me, is that like, yeah, I maybe this is me being socially inept, but I never know what people actually want.
I want Resla to take this because he talks about the trade-offs. Yes, the wants.
Well, I mean, that I say this all the time about people in general. As much as we can say, like, even like get the dog, get the cat, you eventually will want somebody else. Yes, I know we're going to speak for the exceptions, those who have no problem being in the woods by themselves, but that's not the majority of people, right? When you're dealing with people, really life is about choices, trade-offs, and other people. A lot of things you're going to get, most of the things you're not getting by yourself. Typically, you need other hands in order to help achieve those things. Now, I'm listening to you guys, and I'm hearing particular things, and I'm like, okay, we're bringing our own personal things into it. That's no problem. Everybody has an opinion. But like the idea that because there are some people who have heinous actions they do that they can't build relationships or camaraderie with people it's a little bit absurd to me. The same way how there are people who train other people. Let's just say you're not a murderer, but like you're a trainer of getting people. You're an assassin, basically. You're training somebody. You can develop a relationship with somebody that you're training, and you can develop a bond, but it doesn't even mean that you're the greatest of friends. But there also is an admiration to learn from that person. You can do that.
Yeah, but the admiration you're learning from that person is to do bad, not do good.
Even at that, do we have to be friends to learn something from someone?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Do you have to
absolutely
be?
not. Absolutely
When you
not.
say a mentorship is a type of friendship, I would.
Not necessarily.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
That's a
but also
professional
some
relationship.
do blossom from that. Some do, but not all do.
Okay, I'll bring up the point that I made earlier. I was a fireman and a paramedic for 26 and a half years. There's camaraderie. Great relationships can be built off of that camaraderie. That's the point. However, if something flourishes outside of the workplace, friendship, relationship, marriage, that is something that is built, not given.
I don't think anyone was disagreed with that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's the growth. I think we all accepted and acknowledged the idea of growth. In
But
a
you
friendship.
said that's something that you couldn't work on. I mean, like the physical aspect of work.
Yeah, work. I wouldn't consider it work. I would consider it growing together, right? With growth comes from learning things, and you're already interacting and engaging, and you're going about your every day, but you're growing together as things happen, right? I still wouldn't consider it like work the same way I would consider it to be a job. Because what are you working?
I understood
what
that,
are you
Sarah.
working?
I
Yeah, what are
understood.
you working towards in that instance?
You would be working
And
towards a
speaking of
common goal.
work, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I am here working for you. I know I had 6 days off for obvious reasons that we don't need to go down that rabbit hole again because nobody wants a Debbie Downer. But we got to make up for it. So I'm here. We're kicking it off. We're operating. I gave you a chill stream. We still have to, the rules still apply here. You still have to hit that dono goal. Texas Bully Mom in with the Big Ten says, I'm in and out of the stream, I think, because I know Crucible is probably live right now. I saw that he was up and running earlier. So it's okay. I know you're going to go back between us. I will share you. But comes in with a Big Ten. I'm in and out of the stream. The roughest topic for me to hear, etc. But want to show some love. Well, shout out to you. I want to know why it's a rough topic for you. Because usually the idea of friendships, most people have memories and good ones of friends. But I want to know why it would be a rough topic for you to talk about friendships, or did maybe somebody duped you or really hurt you or betrayed you or something along those lines. let me know. Let me know, Texas.
That would that would be the reason why, if you think about it. Like, your closest friends know the most about you. So if they become frenemies, I mean, that always hurts. That sting of betrayal is always the worst. You can't.
Or what happens if that best friend that you have is someone who passed away? Maybe it's hard to now pick up someone else that you've had that long standing with. So
agreed. So like
how do
being friends with someone's always
marriages and divorce from cheating, and usually who they cheating with is usually with a best friend of the spouse. So
yeah, but once again, like I said earlier, like some people are natural loners. Like me, I'm a natural loner. I live in the middle of the country. I prefer not to be with nobody besides me and my cattle and my dogs. But I had to sacrifice and work on a relationship because I knew I want something more. And I do have friends, and so it took pain and work to go through that relationship with them.
Does it have to be a relationship though?
I mean, I have a long-standing friend of about close to 20 years now, and because she and I are just so busy, we rarely get to meet with each other. Most of the time, we can't even really talk on the phone because we're just so busy doing our own thing. So the only time we can actually keep in contact is literally through text messages, maybe shooting voice messages to each other. But that one window that can actually be open is the only time that I can actually hang out and actually see this person.
Yeah.
But I would still say it's a great and close person today. But we have to work at that.
But wouldn't you essentially cherish those moments you can get together outside of just the voice chats or texts or so on and so forth? Wouldn't that make you cherish those few moments you can have when you can find them? Before you answer that, Texas Bully Mom says it's not because of the Crucible, but thanks for that laugh. No problem. Hey, you know what? Any extra dime I can make off of that name at this point on the stream, whatever. Totally kidding. It was funny. You guys know I had to laugh. I had to make the funny. But shout out to you for responding with a dono. That makes me even happier. But yeah, I know you're a fan of both, so I like to give you shit every time I possibly can. Texas Bully Mom says with the Big Ten, it's a lot deeper than to try and explain, especially on here. Well, I accept that. That is fair, and I don't even blame you because there's only so many characters you can put in one chat, and nobody likes a wall. So respect out to you, Texas Bully Mom. And shout out to everyone else. She's already kicked off the dono goal. You are a third of the way there, and you've got 20 minutes to try to catch that up. And I know you can do it. You guys have done it on less time and with less people in chat. So let's see what you got. Who's going to compete tonight? We are now the matriarchy kicking ass tonight without even blinking an eye. Let's see. We had 20 from a guy, plus 10. That's 30 from a guy, 40, 50, 60. Let's see, 70 from a dude. All right. And then the rest are all girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Girls are up tonight. Girls are up tonight. So the matriarchy is currently kicking the patriarchy's ass. All right. Are you going to let the girls win? And ladies, are you going to beat them by a nudge or are you going to beat them by a mile? You let me know. You've got 7 more donos to see who's going to be the deciding factor on this one. Yes, Mama says. But yeah, so yeah, friendship. I completely lost my thought where I was going. Oh, I think I said like
to answer. Yeah, to answer, yes, I do cherish those moments. I do.
And that's the key factor, right? And speaking of the key factor, Tom Carpenter said, nope, 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 nope. Can't have that. All right, that's 5 towards your goal. That puts you guys up to, what did I say? You had 3 in. So you are now up to 8 in. 2 more. Tom did the hefty living. I can't even talk. Tom did the hefty
heavy lifting.
Oh my God. He did the heavy lifting alongside Texas Bully Mom, but we only need 2 more. So ladies, this is your chance to get it back. This is your chance. You got 3 more to go, and maybe does that counter outright? Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, you could always go hogwash and kick ass. You don't always have to stop at the dono goal, but you can certainly win it with whatever you send. All right. I apologize for the inconvenience and interruption. Tom, how rude of you to interrupt with that. All right, back to you guys.
You completely threw her off, Tom. I mean, she was in deep thought, and then that big dono come in and threw her right off.
It's my second favorite color. Look, we got my second favorite color all over that screen. It's so lovely. Show them what that. God, I love her room.
That's a lot of pink. But hey,
my daughter would go absolutely ape shit for that because she loves the pink colors. So anything that's like girly and pink, she would be like, Mom, why didn't you do your room like that?
She has turquoise in the back as well.
Yeah, she's got all the lovely like pastel-y, pinky, purpley colors all blended in. We love it.
Here's the funny part. If I were to turn the overlay off, you would see cameras and everything like that. My wife says to me, well, if you're going to be on panels and everything, you should have something behind you. I'm like, yeah, somebody wants to see a big news camera behind me.
Maybe, you never know. I'll
turn it off if you want to see
a whole look to it, you know.
She's got like the
news looking back there with the camera, or whatnot, you know.
Yeah, like here live at the newsroom. Right? Everybody has their different backgrounds. So Tootie has like this is feng shui. This is like, hello, I'm lovely. Come look at me, and this is why. And then you have Resla over here with like, cut the shit. We're neat and clean. We ain't adding any other fluff to it.
He's got one.
It's lovely.
No fluff.
Okay, there you go. There's one of the big cameras.
Oh yeah. All right, we can do that. Yeah. Here we go.
I had to be a smart ass.
He looks like he's ready for business. And then we got
I'm at work. That's why.
He's rocking it from work. I like that. News from the office. News live at 5 from the office. And then everyone else here all avataring up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
He's
it.
got like a sports agent vibe to him, like he's back there.
I told my wife, instead of the camera, I'll just put I'll put my Trump flag behind me. So I did it, and I got in trouble in my chat, so I had to take it down.
Plumpy over here with their 10-month membership. Plumpy, I feel like you've been here way longer. Says Team Purple Butt Plug. All right, I'm gonna say that's a shout out to you. Are you the purple butt plug?
No.
No, nose goes. Nose goes.
I got my finger on my nose right now, just so you know, and it's Avatar, but it's true. Finger on the nose.
Oh, I love it.
I'm always on the nose.
Always on the nose. All right. But I think to what Resla was speaking to, and maybe we might have moved off it. I don't remember. But my last thought was friendships where you can separate and come back together as if nothing ever happened, right? As if nothing ever removed itself. There was no time or space in between you, and just pick right back up where you left off. And you can have a lot of things hurled your way and a lot of new events and environments that you can get through without having to consult that friend. And I think sometimes maybe you can maneuver without them through those moments because of your foundation that you had before. Like me, I always like to think, what would she do? Right? She'd probably be yelling at me right now, telling me like, get your ass or your head out of your ass, like yada, 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 which is also very similar to shit my dad would say. But I already know my BFF and what she would tell me. And I think that that's helped me maneuver through these typical issues and events that I've gone through, and kind of like, if I don't get emotional, it's because she pretty much knocked all the emotions out of me. Like, stop it. Like, this isn't a time to be emotional. Man up, you know? So I'm wondering if Resla, what your thought is to that. Can you maneuver your way through without having that daily touch in, or being able to go and grab a coffee, or being able to consult them on everything, because you had that foundation built already in place and you already know what they would tell you?
Well, I do it all the time, and unfortunately, I would say I don't really have those moments where I can say I hear those people's voices. I just kind of do my own kind of thing. I would say that if I am really running into a situation where I'm kind of conflicted, like maybe I'm bugging, you know, maybe it's me, maybe I'm reading a little bit more into something, maybe I'm not looking at this deep enough, and those are the people that I can call to, because sometimes, like, as much as I can even have pretty good advice from my for a lot of people, even when I try to look at my own self, I have to have somebody level set me. And sometimes I just have to explain that to the people so I can hear whether if I'm bugging or not, or if I just need a new perspective. And typically I would rather have that with people who I know are going to be the best, who are going to be honest with me.
Right.
So my follow-up would be, so let's say that person isn't available. That person would be your go-to. Would you be able to consider what they would tell you without them being there?
Oh, I want to say yes, but at the same time, if I know it's something I really need to hear an outside of opinion on, my mind might trick me into believing that this is what they would say, but I'm really just working in my own best interest.
Yeah, I agree.
My mind can do that.
Yeah, and so, like, you can't be 100% knowing what they would tell you. But,
that's correct.
You know their mannerisms, their behaviors, what they usually say in the past, and you can more or less guess, a pretty good guess, a good hypothesis, if you will.
Speaking of hypothesis, I could have never hypothesized that my own mother sent me the big hundo. She's not supposed to. She knows she's not supposed to. She's never supposed to send me money, but she decided that she wanted to do it, and now I have to yell at her later. But she said red is our favorite color, and for being my wingman this past week, she put my favorite color. We can't technically put it on the screen because she sent it another direction, but we can all pretend there's red on the screen, which means tomatoes belong in the chat for Mama Tomato and her big hundo. Thank you, Mom. I love you. And it really wasn't much to be your wingman because you're my mom. I'll always be your wingman. And Abby Normal getting their new membership. Welcome to the club. And Mater Nation, my friend, we welcome you with open tomatoes. Speaking of, oh shit. Aww. You guys are gonna make me cry again. I don't want to cry again. Stop it. Carpenter Tom wanted to go ahead and get that color up on the screen, and he said, in honor of Mama. Yes, we love Mama. It's been a rough little week for us all here at the Mater home, but we got through it, and we're all here riding it out because you are our friends. And we're here for you the same way that you are always here for us. So we thank you very kindly. And that means, of course, more fucking tomatoes in the chat, please. Let her rip. Let's light it up. Nothing but red on my screen. Kindly. Thank you. All right. Back to you guys.
Hey, Sarah, can I read a comment in your chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of struck me. It was from Junior Coltrane.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pull that up on the? Can you put that up?
I've got this one.
It was right before Abby Normal 001 or 0001. The new member. That one.
Okay.
Right there. If a friend is funny, I'm more likely to forgive because they will make me laugh. Laughs matter. What's your opinion?
there's a personal connection to me with that. Is why I'm saying, and it just struck me. It struck me for a second.
If a friend is funny, I'm more likely to forgive because they will make me laugh, and laughs matter. Oh, well, I think that depends on the situation, right? So obviously, when you're having a serious moment, you don't necessarily always want to turn to laughter. Sometimes it's like, no, we need to have this conversation. But I think a friend knows the exact moment when you need to laugh. For instance, if you just went through something bad, like, I don't know, you got in a car accident or something, and you're with your friend, and you get out of the car and you're like, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah. You look at the damage of your car. You're like, fuck. But then your friend looks at you and like, hey, we didn't spill our coffee though. Like that to me would be helpful in that moment, right? For them to be able to make it, like to help find the light of the mood. But I also think if you're both in the middle of a serious conversation, talking about, it's an issue between the both of you, and you're like, no, like this, I'm upset and here's why. There may be moments where knowing when laughter is not appropriate, right? So I think it could work, right? If a friend is funny, I think we all entertain each other and have our own sense of humor, and we put it in the right places at the right time. But I also don't think it would, it matters, but I don't know if it, like, I don't know how to explain that. I don't think it's always appropriate, and it wouldn't be the end all be all moment, but it is important in a friendship to be able to entertain each other.
It would be up to the dictation of the moment. And by the way, Barbara Leisman over on pilled.net sends some tomatoes your way.
Oh, we love the maters.
Nice.
We love the maters.
Yeah, actually, if you want to go back to the comment just a sec, the more likely part, that part, right? So more likely, obviously, like you said, there's moments where it's not appropriate. It depends on the car wreck, right?
Right.
Especially if the guy just wrecked his truck, but he didn't get hurt, and you're in the truck with him, and you're holding your beer. Look, I saved my beer,
Probably shouldn't brag about that openly, by the way. Coffee, yes. Alcohol, probably wouldn't shout that from the rooftop.
Hey man, I didn't drop the pipe, or I didn't drop the bottle or the beer. We're good to go.
Yeah, there was no beer, just so you know.
It was Mountain Dew, right? It was Mountain Dew.
But there would be some car wrecks where you would not do that. You would not say, I saved it. No, you just wouldn't even say anything. You'd go into rescue action maybe, or just stand back in awe and listen. If the guy is absolutely destroyed because it was the truck that he just worked on for 3 years to get up to par, because, that was his, 67 Ford that he had put so much work and love into, and you're looking at it and it's on fire, you don't go run up to him and say, here, have a beer, man. No, it's not cool. It's not cool. You're not a friend at that point. You're an asshole.
Right. Well, and I think that's knowing when the moments, right? And that's just Kuth, right? The one thing that Spicoli lacks is knowing when to talk about fucky fuck and when to not, right? It's when to make the joke and when to not. Like after everything's settled and done, and are we safe? Yes. All right, now I can lay the joke on, right? Like we saved our coffee.
Mental picture.
Yeah. Spicoli and fucky fuck. Let me tell you what.
And his big juicy cock. You brought it up, and that's the first thing I went to.
And why you have to bring it back up, Sin City?
I did not. Wait a minute. I
so zeroed in on that big juicy cock.
Yeah, you brought it back up.
I did bring up about the big juicy cock, but she brought up the fucking fuck, and I just got this mental picture that I do not want to have right at the moment.
Yeah, you keep saying it.
Exactly.
That's like the third time he said it in 60 seconds.
I can say it a third or a fourth if you'd like. No, joking.
Have you seen have you seen the video where the girl does the black caulk versus the white caulk? Yes.
Of course.
That's you at this point, right? Like,
okay, I digress, and I will not be bringing that up anymore. Thank you. Fuck, I can't get away with anything. Shit.
No, the internet. It lives forever.
Talk about the court of common opinion.
I'm gonna make a short just off of you saying that, and then I'm gonna put a picture of the black caulk and the white caulk every time.
Okay,
you
just
say
send me. Listen. You can do it. Just send me the collab. I will lovingly accept it. All right. I'm done.
So here's a question, and I was wondering about this. Okay, so
and you wouldn't need someone to probably put your time.
I think that's it. Oh, he got it.
There's his friend.
Now, his wife and daughter tend to yip yap in the background with us every once in a while.
Nice. So I was wondering about this one, and I know we haven't delved too far into it. Online, quote unquote, friends. Could any of you perhaps say that you have met someone online that you consider a friend?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
It's a short list, but yes.
Yeah. Short.
Yeah, I don't mind fellow people.
And so, without necessarily going into the personal details, what is it that makes them a friend? Because these are people online that you've met online. If it's someone that you've met online, maybe you had some interactions with that person outside of online, but is it the online stuff or is it the offline stuff?
I think it's knowing that what I say to them doesn't go anywhere else, and I can rely on that.
Well, the online stuff is the means of maintaining communication with that friend, right? Because this isn't typically someone who lives nearby, so it becomes the mechanism of maintaining the friendship over time.
Yeah, it's kind of a merge situation.
So both.
Yeah, both.
And that's good. Yes. Well, and so communication is key in any relationship. I was taught that a long time ago by my mom. Any relationship.
I think that's just axiomatic.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it is a fundamental truth. So
how do you have a relationship without communication? It doesn't even make sense.
Exactly. You can't. You just can't.
No.
I mean, ask the ant. Go to the ant.
Okay.
No, and I'm just being facetious a little bit. But no, in seriousness, so the online part, that portion is still a building factor.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's okay. For instance, there's online relationships left, right, and center up in this bitch. This is like a ho-spastic, patastic. Resla's laughing because he knows the drill. He knows it's true. I've never seen so many love lives sparkle and shine, and then you watch them crash and burn every time, and you're like, I kind of knew that was coming. Because you just see it all the time. So I think the key factor behind it is because you have so many, there's a lot of private conversations. This is another reason why I don't often do the backstage StreamYards anymore, because it's nothing good came from StreamYard backstage after the show's done. I stopped. I completely just don't do them. I might stick around for just a few minutes to yip yap with someone, but like if it's something logistics, but overall I won't stay back there and hang out. And then you have Discords, you have romance. The Discord should be like Tinder 2.0, right? Because you, huh?
I said Lotion Gate is real.
Lotion Gate, yeah.
Sarah, once the sex content gets up, you can take it to Twitch. I think you'd have real draw there. No offense, but I think you would.
The sex content you got to get on Facebook with, because I feel like anymore that's all my feeds are is like OnlyFans models.
Panelverse meets bathtub streams.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I have been not cammed up for the record, but I have been where a show will end and I would be on their panel. This was back before I even had a show. And so I'd have my phone, I'd be on the phone, but I didn't want to end the conversation, but I wanted to take a bath so I could like relax and go to bed. And I would go and get in the tub while they were, yip yapping. And then all of a sudden they're like, why do I hear water splash? And I'm like, oh, I'm in the bath. It's all right. And they're like, whoa, like you're in the bath. I'm like, it's no different from me being on the phone at this point. And I still do that. Grid hates it because I show up on his panel all the time, somehow from the bathtub. I don't know what it is about his show and me in the bathtub, but it's usually like a Tuesday night or Wednesday night or something, or I forget what it is. And I'm not doing a show and he is. And I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and, hang out. Or he would invite me up and I'm like, I'm in the bath, but whatever. But the Discord romance, we've seen it all happen. We've seen it rock and roll. We've seen people go left, right, and center with that all the time. And this is usually where the drama starts, or when friendships break, or people are like, we saw Lotion Gate create this whole big catastrophe between I think is like Naomi and Speakeasy and who else was in on that? Was it Resto was in on that, I think.
Whoa.
I could see that.
Resto Chesto. Wasn't Resto Chesto informed of something or so? There's like this whole big, well, I know about this and I know about that. And this person has the video and this person has the screenshot. And it just like shit like that. But think about it. It started with this random online romance. And I think there's more concern with the online romances versus online friendships. I think the romances are what gets you. The friendships kind of commingle or you just like fizzle out, whatever. But it's the online romance that creates the biggest stir.
Sarah, do you know what's coming up? What's coming up? Breakup tubes. It's very sad. Believe me, I've been heartbroken before, but I've seen it coming up recently. I think people are going to want to air their grievances and stuff like that. And this is how I know that. I saw like one of the Myron Gaines adjacent, like Red Pill, Manosphere sort of channels. One of those came up and they were talking about how women, their whole topic, they're like, oh, women are at their wits' end. They're at the bottom of the gutter. And it's like, no, you guys are a bunch of pussies. You're just going to complain about all this stuff. And, you're not going to be able to fix anything. So
I know a cult that does that too. Yeah, there's a cult out there, a whole cult out there that does that whole women hater He-Man club thing.
Yeah. Okay, I have high functioning autism, so I would just be like, oh, I just don't understand. Eternal mysteries.
So I have a legitimate question. Mystery. We're talking about the Discord romances and how can you spark a relationship on Tinder, on Match.com?
Easy. You say what's up. You just say, hey, what's up? This is what I would say. I would say, what's up? I would say, I'm looking for someone to just kind of have fun with. Maybe we celebrate the big moments and commiserate with, and keep it casual, and that's it.
You're not okay. Let's be clear. You are not sparking the relationship on Tinder. You are simply
that's
saying,
DTF.
You are simply saying, I'm interested. Okay, it would be the same as Resla and I just went to a bar, right? Not together, but I'm sitting at one end of the bar, Resla's at the other, and he looks up and he spots me and he's like, hot damn, I gotta see about a girl. Ooh, that's Sarah over there. She'd be looking fly as fuck.
I'm like, yo, she cried a bit for sure. Yeah.
So then Resla looks at the bartender. He says, yo, Tutti Fruity, I want you to send that girl a drink on me, Honeybug. And Tutti says, coming right up. I know exactly what her flavor is. And Tutti comes down to the bar and she says, my little mater, Sir Resla up there wanted me to send you a drink on him. Here you go. And then I see
number on the napkin.
And then I see I've got my drink and I look up to Resla and I'm like, oh, this fine tall glass of water sent me a drink. Oh my, I guess I gotta see about a guy over here. And
can I explain? Isn't this because it's free, Sarah?
Up. You're ruining the mood, Doc.
It's because it's free. It's because it's free. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying, guys.
God. Hold on.
It was turning into a lady novel. Okay.
Hold on. Pardon me.
Wait a minute. She was in a
No. We're gonna clear the cards here. Duck, you don't belong. All right, we got bartender in the middle making romance. All right, across the bar. So I look up to Resla and I say, "Cheers, sir." And he holds his glass up. But I look back at him and I say, no, wait, I'll come to you. And I walk my little happy ass up. This is what Tinder is. This is me. He swiped yes. I swiped yes. That's us getting the drink. And then I say, oh, all right, I'm interested. So this is me walking over to Resla, also known as sending a message on Tinder. And I say, hi, I'm Sarah. And he says, well, hey there, pretty lady, or whatever you want to say. Whatever you would say. What would you say, Resla?
Lou her.
I waddled up.
Hello there, gorgeous. What's going on?
Oh, that's the perfect message. How many of those have I received? And then we begin the conversation. Now, in that moment, i.e., also known as we're on Tinder sending messages, in that moment, we have this small window in which we're going to determine whether we want to move forward or stop right there. All right. So in the bar, we're going to decide if we want to trade numbers and go out on a date, or maybe even continue on from that night and say, hey, there's actually a really cool place down the street. We could play pool. Or I know this awesome, amazing food stand that has the best gyros, whatever you want to call them. I'd love to go get one. Would you be interested? And then we go forward. That would be the same as on Tinder. All right, hey, I know this really great coffee shop. I'm enjoying this conversation. I'd like to continue on. That's where it goes. All right. So Doc, God, you're so stupid sometimes. I just want to beat you with my shoe.
I like coffee.
That is the dating world on Tinder, and that is the degree of it, and the same interest level and how it works. Do you understand now?
Oh yes, I understand the sensual moment that you were having, and I was trying to pay homage to that, and you put me backstage.
I was just trying to yell at Duck. Duck's the one that rudely interrupted.
But it sounds like. But wait a minute. It sounds like you have a little bit of experience with this.
So yeah, I've used Tinder before. No, I actually just secretly wanted some one-on-one time with Resla, and I'm using every opportunity to shoot my shot.
Resla, I think she's trying to say something or give you a message. Hint.
That's why
I hear you. I hear you, but she's been very clear. Never in the back chats. owning on Discord.
So now, okay. So
He's
now
a
I'm
man
going
that
to go through, wait a
listens.
minute.
He's a
Now
man
I am
that
going to go
listens.
through the tomato chat to see this. I promise you, I'm going to like troll the whole tomato chat in Discord to find this out. And I am going to point it out.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How do you like your coffee, Sarah?
Black.
Is there any other way?
A little bit of cold water on top, and that's about it.
I like them.
Resla, she's sending that message again.
I hear that.
Legit though, I drink it. It's well, I guess you can't see it now because it's the leftover. Yeah, there's no creamer in there. But you know, when I first started drinking coffee, it was like, how much shit can I add?